So if you've been in the recruiting business for a while or in corporate talent acquisition for a while, you've seen a lot of things go wrong. And as hard as it may be for us to admit, and as reluctant as we may be to say, we just kind of all have to admit that the hiring process is broken. No matter how hard we try to fix it, like no one's happy with hiring, no one's happy with recruiting. In this short video, I want to talk about one problem and offer one very simple solution that I think will help you be a better recruiter, but also may actually move the dial and take us one step forward as a discipline of recruiting to be able to solve bigger problems. I'm David Pinkley. Yes, I'm a recruiter. I've been a headhunter 20 years. I love talking to my colleagues and peers across the industries that are also recruiters who like to best practice and trade ideas on how we can make each other sharper. The idea I have to share is called congruence. Congruence in recruiting. And basically it's the idea that does your recruiting process reflect, or is it congruent with, the values of the candidates that you're trying to recruit? Let me give you an example. You want to hire a salesperson. What are you looking for in a salesperson? You want somebody who's highly communicative, somebody who likes to keep the process forward moving, somebody who likes to close the deal at the end of the day. That's the person you want to hire. Well, if that's the person you want to attract, your hiring process, your recruiting process needs to be somewhat reflective of that. It needs to be congruent with those same values. Basically, does your recruiting process, is it highly communicative? Does it keep moving forward? And can you close the deal at the end of the day? If so, you've got a much better chance of actually securing that recruit because that person sees their own values being reflected back to them in the process of hiring them. I'll give you another example. You've got somebody on the other end of the spectrum, somebody who is process-oriented, who likes order, who likes to anticipate and sort of control how things are moving at like a regular pace. It could be an engineer or a project manager, for instance. Well, does your hiring process, your recruiting process reflect those values? Are you able to say at the beginning of the process what that candidate can expect and what the targets are, and can you actually hit those targets? And if you can, again, you have a much better chance of actually securing that candidate, getting them on board because they see their own values being reflected back to them in the process of recruiting. Now, here's the thing. This is your takeaway value. It's not so much about us as recruiters. It's really about the hiring managers, the people that are actually making the hiring decisions. Those are our clients, whether they're an internal client or an external client. Our job as recruiters and trusted advisors is to get them to understand what I just shared with you. You have to make them accountable for the fact that their process itself is communicating a set of values to the marketplace, and those values better darn well be consistent with the types of people they want to bring in. And if it doesn't, then you're not going to get those candidates. And you can spin it any way you want, but ultimately that onus needs to be, to some degree it's on you as the recruiter, but your job is to keep that accountability on the hiring manager, him or herself. That's what I call congruency in the hiring process. Is it aligned? Is your recruiting process aligned with the values of the candidates you're looking to attract? If you get that right, you're going to get candidate experience right, and you're going to have a much better chance of actually landing the candidates you want. I wish you the best.